So we'll get to Canada and we'll get to Europe in a moment, but I just want to get your take on the U.S.-China trade discussions. How do you inject diplomacy into trade negotiations that seem to have fallen apart as they have?
I think, unfortunately, we have amateur hour going on here. All tactics, very little strategy, and the president, I don't believe, has a full understanding of what tariffs are all about. He continues to repeat this notion of China paying all of these dollars to the U.S. Treasury, and in fact, U.S. consumers, middle Americans, and small, medium-sized enterprise businesses, it's on their backs right now. So tariffs equal tax, and Americans are paying the tax. And so we should call it for what it is, that Americans are going to be paying this tariff tax. Goldman Sachs report just this weekend demonstrated that, and so I'm in agreement with that.
Your former employer, of course. I'm interested in what Goldman has also been worried about is if we're seeing Trump talk tough on China, they are equally going to see Trump talk tough on Europe when it comes to auto tariffs, on Canada and the USMCA potentially not even getting ratified at some point. Do you believe that? Do you think diplomacy is going to have fallen apart on those two sides of the equation as well?
Well, he acts like the art of the deal, and the art of the deal for him is this binary outcome. I win, you lose. In the art of diplomacy, we talk about coming together and finding win-win solutions, especially with our best friends and allies around the world. This is not what's happening now. We are throwing our allies under the bus. And in particular with Canada, this is our best friend, our best trading partner in the world. And I don't think anybody's done more damage to that relationship than President Trump has over the last 2 years.
When will the U.S. need Canada? When will the U.S. need Canadian support in resolving some of these disputes? Maybe not the USMCA, but for instance, with China or with Europe.
You never know when we need a friend and a partner, but when we do, we want to make sure when we make that call, they're there for us. You see, our friends in Canada were there for us in Iran when we had diplomats at the fall of Iran, and Ambassador Ken Taylor brought them out. Our friends in Canada were there for us in 9/11 when they directed all those flights to Gander and Newfoundland, and they fought side by side with us in Afghanistan and had greater fatalities. Our friends in Canada are there for us in New Jersey when Hurricane Sandy hit, and they helped put all the electric wires back up from coming down from Quebec. Canada is our best friend. As far as trade, $670 billion, and we have a trade surplus with Canada. But this is all under threat. Steel and aluminum tariffs by the United States. The U.S. had a surplus for 15 consecutive years in steel until this last year. When tariffs were put in, we now have a deficit in steel with Canada. So where will Canada be? I hope they're always there. But I will tell you, just coming back from Canada, the mood in Canada is not good with regard to the United States. President Trump's approval rating is in the 10% category. How they feel about the U.S. is in the 30s. This is a problem. This is our next door neighbor and best friend and ally. We don't realize the problems that the president is creating around the world with our allies and friends. And there's a cost that will be paid someday, and I hope it's not too much.
Canada has been put in a difficult position, particularly surrounding Huawei's CFO, which has been based in Canada. Their relationship with China isn't that strong. What was the mood music coming from Canada in terms of the tough fight that Trump is fighting with China to try and have mutually beneficial trade relationships?
So the view is that Trump jammed Canada on this China situation with Huawei. The fact of the matter is, while I was ambassador, we had a person who was held under extradition, and the Chinese wanted him back, and we sent him back. His name was Su Bin. He was stealing military secrets. But no, the Chinese never went after Canada in the way they're going after Canada. I think the U.S., in its behavior around the world, is giving free pass to others to go poke at our allies, like Canada. And so I think that the Prime Minister made that clear in his conversation with the President last week, where he said, look, we're taking one for you. What are you doing for us?